Greetings, YouTube. Danny Staten here on the Dan blog, and I got some good stuff for my friend Dave Sunstorm today. Today I'm checking out the Jetsons. The Jetsons, number 24 from 1967. An incredibly cool classic that flashes back to the days of old. It's a gold key. It's old. It's the good stuff. Let's get started. Inside the front cover, we get the history of flight. You know, I really wanted to start this video off with showing one of them really cool videos like the intro to the Jetsons, but I'm going to try to avoid a copyright claim today. So forgive me for not showing a really cool Jetsons intro as we learn the history of flight. That's right, we're checking out all the planes from the old days, 1908, 1909. Huh. I thought the Wright brothers discovered planes before that, but I guess I was wrong. I'm always wrong. And in World War I, there was great planes in the sky. I almost broke out in a song about Snoopy and the Red Baron. Uh-oh. The first story in here is called Monster in the House. I said I wasn't going to do no monsters till after Christmas. But really, is Kong a monster? I don't know. Maybe there'll be some King Kong before Christmas is over, though, boy. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, George Jetson's all upset. His hot daughter needs him. His wife needs him to fix the trash compactor. Elroy has a problem. I'm surprised the dog don't want him to bury a bone for him. They're jerking on him. They're pulling on him. George Jetson is not a happy man. In full glorious panels brought to you by the Daily Dan blog, George Jetson is not a happy man, so he's much like a guy named Dan who's having to review a Jetsons comic book today because he has to do the good stuff during Christmas time. Well, anyway, George Jetson's got to fix the trash compactor. It's a nightmare, but it takes him a while. He gets it fixed. Then he has to do something for his daughter. Then he has to help his son with a bully, which don't work real good as he falls to the bush. The bully's waiting on him. Hey, your son soaked me, so he has to take the blunt of the bully's retribution. Oh, my God, poor George. Oh, drat. You know, earlier I made a joke about a dog with a problem as George tries to hide. George wants to stay away from everybody. But even the dog has a problem, and now he's got to get down on his hands and knees, sniff, 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 and figure out where his dog buried a bone. Oh, my God, what a dumb mutt. Yeah, if my dog couldn't bury a bone right there, boy, it should be shit out of luck. George has an idea, so he whoops it off to Mr. Maker. Mr. Maker is, probably let's just call him Uncle Maker, and says, I need a robot me, I need a robot daddy boy. And a few minutes later, what? A few minutes? Nah, a few days later, maybe. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, the Jetsons get a new automatic daddy robot. Hey, get. He looks like he's a little handsy robot there, too, boy. He's got a hand on the daughter's booty and a hand on the wife's back. I'm worried about the robot. The robot plays with the dog. The robot plays with the kids. I worry about robots that plays with the kids and dispenses money out of its area. Wah, wah, wah. Anyway, George is finally getting some rest. Yeah, that's right, buddy. The robot's doing all the work. The robot's taking care of business. The robot's becoming the dad. What a monster! You took the man's family? This monster has stolen the affections of George's family. George attacks. George beats the robot into a pile of scrap. I really hate this comic book so much. And then I get my first problem with this comic book. As he beats the perverted robot into a pile of junk tin, we find out it's Maker Man inside the costume. Robot Man says, I couldn't make a good dad, so I just became one for your family. And now I am really twisted and worried because the guys, this comic book is full of robots, but this is the one robot that couldn't be built. Everybody needs a real daddy. The end, and I barf in the floor now. Yeah, I really miss comic books that have commercials and other stuff to talk about rather than the drat hard story. Why they got the Flintstones bird in here? You gotta put a quarter in it to make a phone call or something, boy. I'm just kidding. Oh my God, the the Martian thing, the Z, the Martian Grop Z clown thing has escaped his cage. It's chasing the hot girl daughter. George Jetson in action. George Jetson to the rescue. George Jetson takes one to the face. George Jetson goes down. But Elroy ain't having none of that. Bye. And info panels brought to you by the Daddy Dan blog. Elroy Jetson goes scrappy doo. Ties that little Martian up into a knot as George Jefferson, George Jetson gets toted off to recover from that ass whooping. Now, once again, look at that. You got another little robot playing with the kid over here. You got robots, everything, but they couldn't make a robot daddy. That really bothers me, boy. As I flip through here, George Jetson decides to do push ups. George Jetson decides he's going to go for a walk. He's going to cut grass. He's going to bulk up. George don't want to be a wuss no more. But yet we got robot landscapers. Uh, anyway, George is lucky he didn't get his head cut off by the robot trying to cut bushes himself. He's headed out to the gym where everybody has to work out. They actually have gyms in the future. But check out the gyms. The gyms have machines that do all the work for you. You really don't get nothing. You can't use no physical activity. He decides to walk, and people stop and try to jump him and say, doggone it, you must be sick, you're walking. We don't walk in the future. We don't do nothing but Jetson whoops him. He takes him out. George has realized he's becoming in shape thanks to exercise. Is this goddamn comic book trying to tell me something as a space cart crashes behind him? Oh, it's stuck. Whatever will happen. George runs over and yanks it up and lifts it and pushes it on the way. George has become the man of strength. A super George. As he goes home to tell his wife, in awe, he has discovered a way to exercise in secret. He's become George Bot. Oh my God, he's Iron George. You see that robot thing at a future thing comes in again? The end. Oh God, please let this comic book end. Are you freaking kidding me? I can't get away from monsters no matter how hard I try. Walk, walk, walk. Yeah, right there, bud. Monsters everywhere. It's a monster museum. The shoe critter? That's the one that eats the holes in my socks I just threw away. That booty looks really familiar. The Carboose producer. What? These are some strange monsters in this comic book, boy. There ain't no commercials in it because it sucks so bad nobody wanted to sponsor it. And speaking of sucks so bad that nobody wants to sponsor it, be sure to unsubscribe Goofy Corey's comedy channel because he sucks. Here's some goofy, horrible jokes you can read. The kind of jokes you'd see on a crappy comedy channel that nobody wants to watch. Because the comedy is lame, boy, I tell you, it's lame. And this is the kind of lame comedy you get on a lame comedy channel. Ooh, who am I talking about? I think this comic book's trying to send me subliminal messages because check out the eagle, the great eagle. The great eagle can't see too good. Every time he thinks he sees a squirrel, he comes back with that crap. He thinks he sees a apple, he come back with some garbage. He thinks he sees a chicken, he come back with a feather duster. He's having problems, boy. He grabbed a saxophone thinking it was a goose. Oh my God, he has to go to the eye doctor, boy. Oh my God, more lame comedy for children. I'm just going to hold it here and let you figure these jokes out for yourself. They're so funny. It's lame comedy day on the Daddy Dan blog. That's lame. That's lame. That's lame, I tell you. I swear I cannot get away from monsters no matter what kind of comic book I try to do. Here, read this, Marone. I'm not even going to try anymore. I'll be glad when I get to the part where I do shout outs or something so I can do something different than look at this comic book that's driving me insane. I swear to God, this is recipes. Hey, BBB, I found some cooking stuff for you, girl. Yeah, there's your recipe for green apple pie. You can pause it and zoom it in. Oh, good God. It's Slippy Line and Handy Har Har. You ever hear of these guys from back in the day? I forgot all about them as I got older. Thank God I didn't remember them. Hey, I think I'll do shout outs now. Well, on the good side, and I do mean the good side, be sure to check out Dave Sunstorm and his incredible brother Steven Sunstorm. You know, the good stuff, guys, here on YouTube. And hey, since I'm doing the Jetsons and that's somewhat good stuff, Dave might actually watch this video. My partner in crime up there, Thrash Pondo Pond. You can see us returning the first week in January with our show, Thrash and Ponds Save the World. And until then, you can catch him on Sunday nights, all alone at 7 p.m. And once again, be sure to check out Pat McCormick at the Golden Rage of TV. You can find that right here on YouTube. I want to give a special shout out to my friend E. Miguel, the Unapologetic Geek. You can find us on YouTube every Sunday at 1 p.m., returning in January. Be sure to check out Brain Benders Banners. You can see me there on Saturday nights, as well as my friend Bigfoot, Michigan Rob, who has these really cool books called True Cryptid Encounters that would make perfect Christmas gifts. Yes, they would. So you might want to pick them up. And let me give the honorable mentions to Sarah. Sarah, my block is everywhere. We love that girl. Big Guys 45's BK on the air. The Nostalgic Pod Blast Chance, Retro Nerd Girl. AAP for life. We miss AAP. Check out Gypsy Road. My friend Eric's back. And also check out Hair Metal Revolution. You can see that sometime, I think tomorrow, on YouTube. Now, that's my shout outs. Wow, I forgot the Life and Sad Endings channel, and hopefully this will be the sad ending of this comic book as we get all bottled up. Yeah, Goofy, Lion, and Har Har, oh, Jesus Christ, are walking on the beach. They're having a good time. They find a bottle that apparently came from Epstein Island. Oh, no, I did not say that in this video. Oh, they find somebody's being kidnapped and held on an island. Oh, my God, they're going to have to go over and rescue them now because they're heroes. Har Har and the Lion sneak over. They get a boat ride from Goofus. They sneak over to the island. They sneak in, take a peek in the window. They see Epstein going up the stairs. Ah! So in full panels, brought to you by the Daddy Dan blog. Har 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 is not what you think. Lion and Har Har sneak into the house. They take down the evil perpetrator. They say, oh, yeah, but no, you're wrong. He's not being held. He's a tard. What? He's a tard? They go up and they check out the little kid in the attic who's been writing the bad letters and throwing them in the ocean. He does it all the time. He sits here all day writing help me letters and then throws them in the ocean. He's bringing down hardship and horror on me. I'm not a bad guy. The kid's a bad guy, but I got an idea, boy. I got an idea, boy. That's what he said. I swear to God. Anyway, Lino and Har Har get the job. They get the job for $5 each. They will grab the bottles, and on top of that, they get the 2-cent bottle return. They're going to make a fortune collecting bottles and bottles at $5 a piece. $5 in 1967 money is like 100 in today's money, right? They're going to be rich. The end. I hope that's the end of the damn comic book, boy. So in full dismal panels, brought to you by the Daddy Dan blog, I give credit where credit's due. George Jetson comic books are drawn really well. They're at the height of the comic book era. They're what Dave and me would both call the good stuff. Unfortunately, these ain't the kind of comics I like to do. The kind of comics I like to do are just a little bit different, boy. Just something on the different side. You know what I mean? without just coming right out and saying it. But anyway, they threw another story in the back of this comic book. Oh, the joy as we get a space western kind of thing called The Great Plutonium Rush. Plutonium. Ah! Anyway, this guy rushes in and tells George's boss that a incredible potassium mountain's been found on planet X, but we have to get there now. Mr. Whatever the hell his boss's name is, says them claim jumpers are going to be on this real quick. So he grabs George, shoots him down the aisle, and they're off. They're off in a spaceship right now, shooting towards Planet X. How will you find Planet X, says George. Well, that's really easy. Because in a comic book, Planet X is the one with the big X on it. Oh, God. You know, if you go to Planet X in real life, you'll find them old Anunnaki there, and they'll mess you up, boy. So in the last full panels of the day, brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog, we're going to get some cowboy action of the old West style. George and his boss land on the planet. They're being spotted by rustly claim jumpers already, boy. It don't look good. Wonk, wonk, wonk. Hey, there's the mountain. It's a big old mountain of whatever the hell you call it, plutonium. Anyway, they're trying to drill out a bit. They're trying to get an ore sample. You can't break it. It's hard as crap. You can't even get a scratch on it. Oh, my God, whatever will we do? I'll fix it. I'm going to super gyro magnetize it. And whatever little plan that was fell miserably. Nothing works. Whatever will they do? George uses a disintegrator ray. Yeah, it's disintegrated. And he can put it in a bag, and take it with us and just reanimate it later. Let's get out of here. The claim jumpers are back. As a space race ensues, the claim jumpers chase George and the boss away from Planet X. But they have the mountain of dust with them, thank goodness. But all that ain't gonna do us no good. If we're dead, boy, and they're after us, I got something for you. You throw some water back into it. As it begins to bump and thump and reanimate, he throws it out the hatch. And then within a second, it's back to its original form, just in time for the bad guys to crash into it and die a miserable, horrible Jetsons death. I bet you don't think he's going to see that in a comic book. He's not jail. They're not going to need jail. They're going to need a mortician. As Planet X now gets a new moon, thanks to George and the boss. It's in orbit now. The end. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. I want to celebrate the end of this comic book with some quick takes, and you can get more dismal, nightmarish comedy, the kind you'd see on a crappy Walters' bullshit comedy channel. Oh, good God, I did it again. Oh, I'm trying to be nice. Yeah, more comedy. And now it's picture dictionaries. You can see a real jackass, a horse's eyes, a mule, a zebra. You can get little tints of ancient life. You can find out what went on in the jungly hillsides of Africa back in the day. Huh. Yeah, that's how you get away from a bull, not a bear. And that's how you might deal with it. Bam! To the head, boy. Oh, my God. And then we get more of the history of flight in the back of the book. At least they didn't waste it. They're going to give us up after what happened after 1906. They're going to show us the invention of metal aircraft, the framed craft, the mass production of aircraft in the back of this book is astonishing. Hallelujah, it's over. They didn't mess the back up. They just copied the cover and made a really cool Jetsons pinup for you. Oh, boy. And that's my overly long, drug-out look at the Jetsons, number 24, a Gold Key comic from 1967. I can't wait to put it in a bag, stick it in a box, and never take it out and look at this piece of shit again. Thank you for joining me. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this piece of garbage. Dave, I'm sorry. I know you like the Jetsons, but oh my God, that was terrible. Please leave a comment below. Until next time, Danny Staten on the Danny Dan Blog, where next week, even if it is Christmas time, you may get a surprise. Plug over, dudes.